your lip on my leg. Thank you. Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about some of the books that I'm very excited to read in fall. I have accumulated too many of them. Hello. So I probably won't read them all, but I want to have a really good selection of stuff to have available to me. The first one I've had on my TBR for a few years, and I don't know too much about it other than sometimes it's marketed as a horror, sometimes it's marketed as a mystery. Like, I don't really know what genre it's in, but it looks really good, and it has to do with hauntings and a small English village and sisterhood and all of that, which I like. And that's Small Angels by Owen.
In a hypnotic tale of sisterhood, first love, and hauntings, a wedding in a small English village stirs up unsettling magic and forces a troubled family's secrets out into the open. Lucia and her sisters grew up on the edge of Mockbeggar Woods. They knew it well, its danger, but also its beauty.
Next book is a middle grade. It has illustrations. I think it's a debut from this author, and it just looks so fun. I think it's mystery, and it's in a town called Fall Hollow, which is perfect for the fall season, and that is the Bellwoods game. I picked this one up in a local bookstore near me, and it just looked super, super cool.
Everyone knows Fall Hollow is haunted. It has been ever since Abigail Snook went into the woods many years ago, never to be seen again. Since then, it's tradition for the 6th graders at Beckett Elementary to play the Bellwoods games, in which 3 kids are chosen to go into the woods on Halloween night. Whoever rings the bell there wins the game and saves the town for another year.
I know there's a lot of fall romance books out there, but I only have my eye on a couple of them. Very autumnal cover, a retelling of When Harry Met Sally, and it has a blurb by Allie Hazelwood, and that is You Again. I have heard a lot of things about this, but also nothing at all, which I don't know how to feel about that. A couple of my coworkers told me about this and that they enjoyed it, so I thought I would give it a try.
A free-spirited, struggling comedian, Ari likes to keep things casual and never sleeps over after hooking up. Josh, a born and bred New Yorker, has ambitious plans to take the culinary world by storm and find the one. They have absolutely nothing in common.
There's 2 romances that are like my most anticipated fall releases, and one of them is this one. When I saw the cover, I thought this is the most gorgeous illustrated cover I have ever seen. I love how the characters were drawn. I love the entire vibe about it, how it's laid out, all of it, everything. It's long, and it's just a fall rom-com in a small town, which is exactly my vibe, and it is If It Makes You Happy. I know they're older, which is something I enjoy because that means they're more mature, honestly. It takes place in a small town, next door neighbors. It's set in the 1990s, and it's a slow burn romance, which is definitely my vibe.
My new next door neighbor, Cliff, seems to have everything figured out. Small town golden boy? Check. Single dad extraordinaire? Check. Hot baker forearms? I didn't notice them, I swear. I, on the other hand, don't at all have anything figured out. Trust me, I didn't think taking over my mom's dream bed and breakfast in Copper Run, Vermont was going to be easy.
And just look at this cover. Isn't it gorgeous? I think it's so pretty. And then the other romance book that I have highly anticipating, I think it just came out as I'm not talking about this. It's People Watching by Hannah Bonam-Young. She wrote other romance books like Out on a Limb. I've been wanting to read those ones. I haven't read anything from her either, but this one looks super, super cool, and I'm excited to see if it's something that will make me want to read her other books as well.
Prudence has found solace in her introverted life in Baysville, a charming tourist town in northern Ontario. Despite once dreaming of a life beyond its borders, she now finds contentment in her routines. Enter Milo, an enigmatic wanderer whose beaten-up van covered with ill-advised stickers rolls into town.
Far Wilder Magic. The cover is just very autumnal to me, and it's giving that, it's kind of gothic and slightly romance, but also folky. I don't know how to explain it, but it just looks so cool. She also wrote Wings of Starlight, that new Disney fairy book that looks super, super cool as well. So I want to give this one a try.
When Margaret spots the legendary Hala, the last living mythical creature, she knows the half-moon hunt will soon follow. Whoever is able to kill the Hala will earn fame and riches and unlock an ancient magical secret. While Margaret is the best sharpshooter in town, only teams of 2 can register, and she needs an alchemist.
A Study in Drowning by Ava Reid. Oh, this one is fantasy, but it's also young adult, dark academia. I'm excited to read this. That's all I have to say about it. I don't know too much about it. Kind of similar vibes to the last one of darker, mystical. The darkness in novels like this I always associate with fall for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's a spooky month.
Effie has always believed in fairy tales. She's had no choice. Since childhood, she's been haunted by visions of the Fairy King. She's found solace only in the pages of Encarad, Meriden's beloved epic about a mortal girl who falls in love with the Fairy King and then destroys him. Effie's tattered copy is all that's keeping her aloft through her first term at the prestigious Lyrian Architecture College.
Next we have Starling House by Alix E. Harrow. I did start this one last year. I got to page 53, and I don't think I was in the right place to read it. I was in school still and trying to balance that, but I did like what I read so far. There's a spooky house, a peculiar owner of said house, and a deal made between our main character and the owner of that house.
Opal is a lot of things. Orphan, high school dropout, full-time cynic, and part-time cashier. But above all, she's determined to find a better life for her younger brother Jasper. One that gets them out of Eden, Kentucky, a town remarkable for only 2 things: bad luck and E. Starling, the reclusive 19th century author of The Underland, who disappeared more than 100 years ago.
For Whom the Bell Tolls. This one of my coworkers suggested to me. It's a thicker fantasy. This one's kind of romantasy as well, and it reminds me of Dante's Inferno, and kind of like going through all the levels of hell, which is very interesting to me. I like learning about that, and kind of this one and the next one correlate on that sense. This one is more of a romantasy than a general fantasy.
Lily may not be thrilled with her arrival in the afterlife, but what awaits her there is fantastical beyond imagination. Deities in line at the coffee shop, fae flitting between realms, souls making death a beginning. As she explores the afterlife's many realms, Lily finds herself drawn to a place most would avoid at all costs: hell.
And then kind of similar to the one I just talked about in the sense of Dante's Inferno and the layers, is that what this is? The levels of hell. It's kind of the book that everybody's been talking about recently, and that is Katabasis or Katabasis by R.F. Kaung. This is a special edition. I did manage to get myself a signed copy, which is very cool. Here are the edges. But yes, I kind of really like the layout of this book and how it's set up. I do think it's a little heavy, so we might need a pillow on my lap under the book to hold it up, or else my wrists would hurt. It's dark academia, it's fantasy, there's a subplot of romance, all the things that sound amazing to me. And then the font itself is not too small also, which is a plus for me. I want to kind of read it alongside Dante's Inferno and see if I can pick up anything extra. I think that would be really fun.
Alice Law has only ever had one goal: to become one of the brightest minds in the field of magic. She has sacrificed everything to make that a reality: her pride, her health, her love life, and most definitely her sanity, all to work with Professor Jacob Grimes at Cambridge, the greatest magician in the world. That is, until he dies in a magical accident that could possibly be her fault. Grimes is now in hell, and she is going in after him, because his recommendation is the key to her future, and he could hold her dreams in his now incorporeal hands. Unfortunately, her rival, Peter Murdoch, has come to the very same conclusion.
Okay, second to last one I have for you is very lighthearted fantasy, but also kind of romancy. It's A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. I read The Secret Society of Irregular Witches a year or two ago, and I really enjoyed that one. It was very found family, kind of reminded me of House in the Cerulean Sea. I have not read that one, but from what people have told me about it, it reminded me of that a lot. And so I wanted to give this a try. It just came out, but I've known about it for probably a year, honestly, since they announced it. And I am very excited to see. I love her writing. It's very flowery, it's set in England, so it's just the way she describes things. It's very, very lovely. I love it so much. I've already read a chapter of it so far. I'm on page 13, and it's very fun. There's a talking fox, or she thinks it's someone trapped in the form of a fox, but she doesn't really know how they got to that state.
Sarah used to be one of the most powerful witches in Britain. Then she resurrected her great-aunt Jasmine from the very recently dead, lost most of her magic, befriended a semi-villainous talking fox, and was exiled from her guild. Now, she, slightly reluctantly and just a bit grumpily, helps Jasmine run an enchanted inn in Lancashire, where she deals with her quirky guests' shenanigans.
I'm so excited about this last one. This one comes from an author that I am obsessed with. I have only read 2 of her books, but I plan on trying to read all of them. This is Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. She wrote the Divine Rivals duology. That duology is one of my favorite series ever. And so this book is set 600 years before the story of Roman and Iris in Divine Rivals. And this is about the 2 gods that war is about. And this is their story. I'm very excited to see everything that unfolds. This is a thick book. So we got like 600 pages, 520 pages of story between these 2 gods. And I'm very, very excited. The cover is gorgeous, and the back as well. And I'm going to show you everything about this book because I am obsessed. We got end papers. We got a designed hardcover book with art of the characters. And I also managed to get a signed copy. And I am so excited about this. Hopefully it lives up to my expectations. I'm sure it will. And hopefully it will get me to finish her other books that she has written as well.
Born in the firelit domain of the Underrealm, Matilda is the youngest goddess of her clan, blessed with humble messenger magic she uses to carry words and letters through the realms. But the gods will kill for power, and Matilda holds a secret she must hide from even her dearest allies. There is a mortal who dreams of her, though they have never met in the waking world. 10 years ago, Vincent of Becket wrote to Matilda on the darkest night of his life, begging the goddess he befriended in dreams to help him. His request went unanswered, and Vincent became a hardened, irreverent lord of the river who has long forgotten Matilda, until she comes tumbling into his bedroom window with a letter for him.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Okay, I think that is all I have for today's video. If you've read any of these books and have loved them, let me know which one was your favorite. If you have some of these on your TBR, let me know. That way we can all talk about our favorites together.